This is Alice Guy Blanche, a French filmmaker in the late 1800s and very early 1900s. For a time, she was quite possibly the only woman making films, and she made a lot of them, taking part in the creation of over 1,000 films. At the same time, she played a crucial part in the development of filmmaking, but you've probably never heard of her. Most people wouldn't recognize her name, which doesn't seem right. In fact, many iconic creators have been forgotten by the public, overshadowed by more popular filmmakers like Spielberg, Tarantino, and Scorsese. Oscar Micheaux was regarded as the first black feature filmmaker, about 30 years after Alice Blanche had hit the screen. First a novelist, he found his way into making films, recognized for his film The Homesteader, which was made from a book he wrote called The Conquest. The popularity of his films and his growing reputation as a director paved the way for the roles of black filmmakers and actors in the future, one being Sidney Poitier, who also had his share of influence. Not only was he perhaps the most popular and successful black actor of his time, but he was the first to win the Best Actor Academy Award in 1964.
Just what you do up there in little old Pennsylvania, earn that kind of money?
I'm a police officer.
This is the all-American hero, Will Rogers, a perfect image for an American cowboy. In truth, Rogers was of Cherokee descent, born on a Native American territory in 1879. His commercial success in the early 1900s made him the only Native American film star, and definitely the only one playing a white cowboy.
You know, Thomas, I don't know what you're talking about half the time. Why is that? I don't know.
This is a film called Smoke Signals, made in 1998. It was the debut film of a filmmaker, Chris Eyre, and it went on to win the Sundance Film Festival Filmmakers Trophy. Eyre was born in 1968 and is an enrolled member of the Cheyenne and Arapaho tribes, making him one of the very few Native American filmmakers. In 2008, Eyre directed several episodes of the miniseries We Shall Remain, which emphasizes the importance of Native history in America.
The Master of Life has appointed this place for us to light our fires, and here we shall remain.
Japan has the third largest movie industry in the world. Some of its founders can be credited with influencing many of Hollywood's most notable directors. One that can't go without mentioning and isn't mentioned enough is Yasujiro Ozu. He had his own particular shooting style. For instance, he often broke what's called the 180-degree rule. He would shoot from people's perspectives as opposed to objectively. Although his shooting style didn't cross over to popular culture very much, his use of symbolization did, making him one of the most notable filmmakers in film history. In the 1930s, women's roles in film were usually as actors, or most commonly, editors. Leni Riefenstahl was an exception. She was the director of documentaries, and she was the best around. Oh, and one other thing, she was a Hitler supporter. In fact, her films were usually made in support of the Nazi movement. Evil tendencies aside, her techniques were groundbreaking. She was picky about every shot she used, making sure everything illustrated the effect she wanted. It was this skill that helped fuel Hitler's giant propaganda library, which we should all know from her history books spawned a massive movement. In the latest Star Wars installment, The Force Awakens, there was a really obvious allusion to Nazi Germany in this scene.
At this very moment, in a system far from here, the New Republic lies to the galaxy!
What you probably didn't know is that they were also referencing a very similar speech scene from Triumph of the Will, one of Riefenstahl's more popular films. To this day, her propaganda techniques are used in all sorts of ways, from films to presidential campaigns. There is no doubt that these filmmakers have had a major effect on movies. They deserve an honorable mention to the innovators who perfected the craft of filmmaking.